Welcome back to Car Studio, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I just wanted to do a quick video today to show you my appreciation for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I mean, I was shooting for 6 months. At the 6-month mark, I was starting to think maybe it's going to take me a year to do this, but it's been 8 months now since I started the channel, and it's finally hit 1,000. And while that's just a very small step in the grand scheme of things, it's a big step for me because I put off making this channel for years, and finally I just made a very terrible video back in like January. Don't go back and watch it. It's embarrassing, but I did it. I put the coal in the fire and went for it, and the video sucked, and most of them still probably do, but I'm trying. They're getting a little bit better and a little bit more interesting because I keep gaining subscribers. But anyways, I wanted to announce a new video series. If you watched my previous videos, I kept promising when I hit 500 subscribers that I would start a video series on how to flip cars. And I'm still going to do that, but deliver it in a different way. But before we get into that, I want to just segue to what we've done in the past few months in terms of flipping cars, and just talk about what we flipped and how much profit was made. And that'll kind of give you, if you're new to the channel, you'll see what I've been doing is working, and the new video series will take you along step by step through that path of flipping various things, whether it's a car or a boat or motorcycle, whatever we can make money on, and ultimately reach a goal that I'm going to set and what we're going to do with that money. So, to recap, we had, at the beginning of the channel, I bought I think it was a 2012 Volvo S60. I bought it for 800 bucks. I did nothing to it but tow it straight to the auction. It needed an engine. I sold it in op, and it sold for 2,500 bucks. First day, $1,600 in profit. The next flip we did was a 98 model, I think, Z71 Tahoe. Wasn't the nicest vehicle. I sold it cheap. It was wintertime. It lasted hours. It sold almost immediately. So I bought it originally, I think, for 700 bucks. I had to put some money into it, a new radiator. I cleaned it up a little bit. I think I had to buy maybe 1 or 2 other things. And it sold for $1,750. It took like 2 or 3 hours of my time to get it ready to sell. And so I made $650 profit on that one. Next, this one didn't make the channel. It happened so quick. It was a GMC Envoy, I think like an 03 or 04 model. Very, very clean, one owner SUV. I picked it up for $1,000 and again, did nothing to it. Didn't even have to clean this one. Sold it for $3,800. I actually didn't even advertise it for sale. If somebody I knew wanted it. Made $2,800 profit on that one, and they still got a good deal. The red Countach boat, I never made a follow-up video on it. But if you watch my previous videos, I did buy it very cheap, $800. It needed an engine. I found a junkyard engine for 300 bucks on Facebook. It ended up being a remanufactured engine. But yeah, we put that motor in and I buffed it and added some gauges. I put a little bit of money into that. I think all in I had $2,000 in the boat between buying it and the parts I bought for it and installing the engine. I made $4,500 profit on that boat. Again, I didn't make a video selling it. It kind of was just like a quick sell. The boat wasn't for me. It wasn't big enough. Another thing that didn't make the channel is a Volkswagen Bug. It was a 66 model. I bought it because it popped up on Facebook. It was a good deal. And I went to Ohio and got it about an hour away. Wasn't too far. And all I did was I towed it back from Ohio, pushed it in the garage, and there it sat for months. I came to the realization that at the time I had like 12 cars. I said, when am I ever gonna have time to put floor pans in this car and rebuild the motor or get another motor for it and redo the brakes and, you know, everything else that needed done to it. It just wasn't going to happen, and I was tired of looking at it. I listed it for $1,800. I sold it for $1,500. So I made about $1,000 profit on that. Again, zero work besides picking it up, towing it back. That's all I did. My best flip this year was the Buick LaCrosse. There is a video on it. If you look back just a few weeks ago, it was a 2012 Buick LaCrosse, I believe. Got a killer deal on it, $900. It had been sitting for a few years. I picked it up from the customer's house and drove it straight to a friend's house. I detailed it, spent about 2 hours cleaning it up. On my way to the auction, I bought a battery because it did need a battery. I was driving in on a jump pack, and I took it straight to the auction. So in a matter of 3 hours between buying the car, detailing it, and then dropping it off at the auction, it sold for $5,800, first day at the auction. So in 3 hours, I made almost a $5,000 profit on that car. So in total, this year, the cars that I've flipped and bought, I've made $15,350 profit. That's profit on these vehicles. And that was in about 8 months. So what I'm getting at with this video series is that I was going to do like a whiteboard presentation, you know, breaking it down, making it very analytical on how to flip cars and make a profit doing it. But I thought it'd be even better to just show you how to do it. Just take you with me step by step. You follow me on Facebook Marketplace. We'll look for deals. I'll say what's a deal, what's not a deal, and why. So that video series is going to start next week. I'm going to take $1,000 out of my money, and I'm going to turn that into $20,000. 6 months is the goal. So in 6 months, I want to turn $1,000 into $20,000. So what are we going to do with this $20,000 when we get it? I've had a couple different ideas. I wanted to keep it car related, but financially that doesn't really make sense because I've got what I want for now. There's no vehicle that I really am striving to get after at this moment. What I am trying to do is get into real estate more. So we're gonna take $1,000, flip it into $20,000 in 6 months. Come springtime, hopefully we can buy a rental property with that. And that will lead to a whole other set of videos. So follow me, guys. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. There's a lot of good content coming up. Again, I can't thank you enough for getting me to this point. I know 1,000 isn't very much, but it is a benchmark that a lot of people don't make it to. So thanks again. If you didn't notice by now, I do have t-shirts, and if you're interested in these channel branded shirts, shoot me an email at carstudioyt@gmail.com and just tell me your size. I'll tell you my PayPal or Venmo, and I'll get one sent out to you. I'm selling them at cost, 20 bucks. I'm just trying to build a brand, and they're pretty cool. They are paying homage to Miami Vice. So again, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe. A lot of good stuff coming up, and thank you. I will see you next week.